Hey all, it's Glitchin back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Decklist video. It's been a while, but I'm hoping to have some more regular uploads here on out. So let's get right into it. This is a video I've been meaning to make for a while. Nouvelles. Hungry Burger best deck, let's go. Anywho, let's get right into it with our Nouvelles main course. We have two Border-based de Nouvelles. Border-based de Nouvelles is our level 1 ritual monster and usually our combo starter. On Ritual Summon, allows you to reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and add a Nouvelles card from deck to hand. Also, when it is targeted for an effect or an attack, you contribute itself and another attack position monster on your opponent's field in order to summon a level 2 or 3 Nouvelles ritual from your deck. Pretty good, especially when combined with its correlated ritual spell, Recette de Poisson Fish Recipe. Recette de Poisson Fish Recipe, upon summoning Border-based de Nouvelles, allows you to add a recipe card from deck to hand except itself, making our combos go even smoother. We also have one Confiras de Nouvelles. Confiras de Nouvelles on summon allows you to target one spell trap on the field and destroy it. Pretty good. It's nice to have a searchable spell trap removal if we need it. Also, like Border-based, it has the effect to tribute itself and another attack position monster on your opponent's field when itself is targeted for an effect or an attack, and summon a level 3 or 4 Nouvelles monster. And its correlated ritual spell is Recette de Viande, Meat Recipe. On summon, it allows you to switch all of your opponent's defense position monsters to attack position. So this is mostly what we are running Confiras for, because if our opponent gets wise and starts putting their stuff in defense position, we can say and switch them all to attack and start tributing them off. For the level 3, we have Poultice de Nouvelles. Poultice de Nouvelles on summon allows you to draw a card. Very simple. Poultice de Nouvelles, when any card is targeted on the field, allows you to tribute a Nouvelles monster on your field and an attack position monster on your opponent's field. This is a little bit stronger of an effect than the 1 and 2s, since it allows you to tribute any card, and it doesn't matter if this card is targeted, if you target one of your own cards for anything, just a overall better effect. We also have a Foy Glacia de Nouvelles. Foy Glacia on summon allows you to target 3 cards in either graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck. Also, when a card is targeted, you can tribute one Nouvelles monster you control and an attack position monster on your opponent's field, and summon a 5 or 6 level Nouvelles. Pretty simple as it all goes. For the 5, we have Balaminier de Nouvelles. Balaminier on summon allows you to add a recipe or Nouvelles card from deck to hand. Also, it allows you to target an attack position monster on your opponent's field and tribute it. This is a quick effect if it is summoned off of the effect of a Nouvelles monster. Very good card. Being able to selectively tribute your opponent's monsters, especially at quick effect speed, is very, very useful. Especially because it summons the level 6 Belgril de Nouvelles. Belgril on summon negates all of your opponent's all effects, not just monster effects, and then tributes all of your opponent's monsters. Absolutely insane. Very crazy. You only get the tribute everything effect if it is summoned off of a Nouvelles monster, but that's really the only reason you'd want to be summoning it. And you can quick effect tribute an attack position monster on your opponent's field to summon the real boss monster of the deck, Hungry Burger. Hungry Burger is a vanilla monster that doesn't do anything, but when combined with the chef's special recipe counter trap in the graveyard, allows you to banish itself, and on the summon of Hungry Burger, will tribute every monster on your opponent's field. So, as you can see, our deck is all about tributing our opponent's monsters for our own effects. Very annoying. Not a great deck to play against because it's very jank, but also very annoying and pesky to deal with. These spell traps we have 3 Poissonnaire de Nouvelles. Poissonnaire de Nouvelles is a pendulum monster, not technically a spell, but I didn't have room to put it in the monsters section. Anyway, I digress. It's one of the newer support cards for Nouvelles. I say newer because they're months old at this point, and this video has been taking a while to make. On summon, it allows you to either add a level 1 ritual monster from deck to hand, or add a recipe card from deck to hand. Or its second effect allows you to banish any number of recipe ritual spells from your graveyard in order to special summon a ritual monster with an equal level from your hand. That effect doesn't really come up, but if it ever does, you'll be glad it's there. Also, when tributed on the field, it allows you to place it face up in your pendulum zone. Its pendulum effect allows you to target a monster on the field, special summon this card, and then change its battle position. Usually, it would be the opposite. You change the battle position and then special summon this card. So why is it worded that way? Well, if you have a Nouvelles ritual monster on the field, have Poissonnaire in your pendulum zone, activate the effect targeting your own Nouvelles monster, chain the Nouvelles monster's effect, tributing itself in order to get another ritual monster from your deck, and tribute off one of your opponent's attack position monsters. Then special summon Poissonnaire and attempt to change the battle position. And there's no card there, but you still got the summon of Poissonnaire off anyway, and you were able to target one of your own cards, which allows you to tribute one of your opponent's monsters. So overall, it's a very good support card for the deck. And it's also our normal summon most of the time, other than the other normal summon, which I will bring up later. To Recette des Poissons fish recipe, Recette des Poissons allows you ritual summon any Nouvelles ritual monster. Crazy, a ritual spell lets you ritual summon. But when ritual summoning Borlevase specifically, it allows you to add a differently named recipe ritual spell from deck to hand. And our target for that is our one copy of Recette des Viandes meat recipe. Honestly, we don't need that many. Since our deck is so consistent, we can run 3 overall since this searches the other one. And when summoning Confiras, it allows you to switch all of your opponent's defense position monsters to attack mode, making them good targets to tribute off for all of your effects. Then we have 3 copies of Concours de Cuisine Culinary Confrontation. I keep trying to call it the Fanlation name. But anyways, it allows you to special summon a Nouvelles Pendulum monster and a Paticiel Ritual monster from hand, deck, or extra deck on one to either field. So you summon your Poissonnaire to your field, making this act as an e-tally, and you put a copy of Paticiel Couverture onto your opponent's field. For all intents and purposes, this is a vanilla monster that we contribute off for all of our Nouvelles effects. Then we have 3 Voici la carte. Voici la carte allows you to reveal a Nouvelles monster from your deck, 2 of them, and then your opponent picks one of them for you to add to your hand. And based on the type of that monster, you get to add a corresponding recipe ritual spell. So if it is a beast warrior, you get Recette des Poissons. If it is a warrior, you get Recette des Viandes. Optionally, you can also reveal Poissonnaire des Nouvelles, which is a fairy, and you get neither. But you do get a search of Poissonnaire. So your opponent is forced into a situation where they give you a 2-for-1 or a really good combo starter for the deck. We have 2 copies of our field spell, Nouvelles Restaurant at Table. The only one not in French. Kind of annoying. Anyways, on activation, allows you to add a recipe card from deck to hand. Very good piece of consistency. Also, it allows you to shuffle a ritual monster from your hand into the deck as a cost. So if you get Ash Blossom, it really hurts. And then draw a card. And during the end phase, allows you to target 2 cards in your graveyard, puts them onto the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. The 2 cards selected has to include a recipe card. I forgot to mention that. Anyways, it's a good piece of consistency, getting a couple of cheeky draws in, recycling our cards from our graveyard into our deck, and on activation, adding us a card. 1 copy of Chef's Special Recipe, a recipe card. So if something searches out a recipe and not a recipe ritual spell, this is a valid target to search. It is a counter trap, so when a spell trap or monster effect is activated while you control a Nouvelles ritual monster, negate the activation and then destroy that card if the Nouvelles monster you control was summoned off of a Nouvelles ritual monster. Also, when in the graveyard, when you special summon a Hungry Burger, you can banish it from your graveyard in order to tribute all monsters on your opponent's field. A very good card. It adds to our end board as an Omni Negate, and if you are ready to pop off with your Hungry Burger, you can just clear your opponent's board. Now, for our generic ritual side dish, we have 2 copies of Incantation Candle. It allows you to reveal itself, plus a ritual spell in hand, special summon it, and then another incantation from your deck. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck while it is on the field. And 2 Incantation Talismandra. They're each partners for each other, where if you summon one, it allows you to special the other from deck. Talismandra requires you reveal a ritual monster, and on summon adds you a ritual spell. Incantation Candle makes you reveal a ritual spell and adds you a ritual monster. Either way, Both very good cards, seeing as they're very low investment of just revealing a card in your hand in order to special summon itself, plus another card from your deck, which makes for two bodies on the field for some ritualing, tributing, forgetting my words here. Good pieces of consistency for the deck. 3, Diviner of the Herald. This is the best normal summon for the deck. The second best would be Poissonnaire. But Diviner of the Herald on summon allows you to send a fairy monster from deck or extra deck to the graveyard and increase its level by that monster's level. So the card we will usually be sending off of Herald is Herald of the Arc Light. Herald of the Arc Light, when sent to graveyard, allows you to add a ritual monster or ritual spell from deck to hand. Also, that would make Diviners level 6, allowing you to ritual summon basically any Nouvelles you want. And when it is you tributed while on the field, it allows you to special summon a level 2 or lower fairy from deck. Poissonnaire is a level 2 or lower fairy. So if you foregoing any hand traps, you summon Herald, send other Herald, tribute off Herald, that gets you a free Poissonnaire. You're drowning in card advantage at that point. You also run 3 Cyber Angel Ben 10. Ben 10 has a bunch of effects. The only one we care about is when it is tributed, you can add a light fairy from deck to hand. Diviner is a light fairy. Itself is also a light fairy if you decide to search another copy of it. Basically, this acts as free 6 levels of ritual material in our hand, and when used as ritual material, allows you to add our Diviner of the Herald. So it is copies 4, 5, and 6 of Diviner. We have perhaps the best ritual card ever printed, Pre-Prep of Rites, allowing you to add a ritual spell and a ritual monster listed on that ritual spell from deck to hand. So you get to add either Boiler Base and the recipe Recette des Poissons, or you get to add Confiras and Recette des Viandes. Very, very, very good card for the deck, and any ritual deck for that matter. And ending out our side dishes, we have 2 Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites allows you to add a level 7 or lower ritual monster from deck to hand, and you can add a ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. Since we don't have any level 7 or higher ritual monsters, this can search anything in our deck, any ritual monster we want. Also, if we happen to have another ritual spell in the grave, they are not once per turn, so you can just grab it back, ritual summon even more. Good stuff, good stuff. First up for the extra deck, we have 2 Pâtissier Couverture. This is essentially a normal monster that we get to summon off of Concours de Cuisine. Acting as an extra deck garnet for us in a weird sort of way, where we have to run it in order to get our good effects off. But it essentially acts as a card we can just place on our opponent's field in face-up attack position and then tribute off for our combos, allowing us to combo off a little bit harder on turn 1. It was a problem before that you could tribute all of your opponent's attack position monsters, but you're going first. They don't have any. So just give them one. It has the effect where if it's destroyed, you can place it face up in your pendulum zone, but you're tributing. You're not destroying. So I guess Konami just roped this into the archetype based on visuals alone, because I don't really understand what else it would be doing for the deck. We have 1 copy of Relinquished Anima. I would be telling you can also run a copy of Link Karibo, but unfortunately Snake Eyes Link Karibo got banned recently. F to pay respects. Anyways, Relinquished Anima requires a level 1 monster. Poissonnaire des Nouvelles is a level 1 monster, and it'll just go into your extra deck. We kind of don't want it to stick around to place Poissonnaire back in our extra deck, but might as well run an Anima, since it allows you to target a monster this card points to and attach it to itself as an equip card, and it gains the attack of the equipped monster. I have a copy of IP Masquerena. Masquerena is a generic Link 2, requiring 2 non-Link monsters. And during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect Link summon on your opponent's turn. Pretty good, especially when you go into a card such as SP Little Knight, which has an effect on summon. On summon, it allows you to banish one card from your opponent's field or graveyard. And when your opponent activates an effect, quick effect, you can target a card on your field and another card on the field. It could be your opponent's, it could be yours, and banish both until the end phase. I said card, I meant monster. SP can target your own Nouvelles monsters, but it's not a make or break for the deck. So honestly, you're perfectly fine running a Nightmare Unicorn instead. Speaking of nightmares, we have a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix on summon allows you to discard a card and target a spell trap on the field and destroy it. Honestly, it's just a nice piece of spell trap removal in our extra deck. Also, it does target, which procs some of our Nouvelles monsters. We have a copy of Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Since all of our ritual monsters are darks, might as well be running the Charmer of the corresponding attribute. It requires 2 monsters, including a dark monster, and allows you to target a dark monster in your opponent's field and special summon it to a zone this card points to, and you just keep it. Yeah. 2 copies of Dynamondo. Probably not a Link monster you have seen before, but it requires 2 monsters, including a ritual monster. If it is spell summoned, you can target a card on the field and 1 ritual monster at the graveyard. Shuffle both into the deck. Basically acting as another copy of some of the nightmares. It's a pseudo Nightmare Cerberus and a pseudo Nightmare Phoenix. Also, during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect tribute this card in order to special summon a ritual monster from your graveyard. This effect seems weird, but when combined with Bow Grill, it allows you to quick effect slam down a monster onto the field that negates every one of your opponent's card effects. And also, since it's on your opponent's turn, the chain link resolves how you want it to. You tribute it, your opponent gets their effect off, they activate it, you chain your Bow Grill, which negates their thing. Very nice. We also have another Link monster that a lot of people probably haven't seen before. Nephthys the Sacred Flame, requiring 2 monsters, including 2 or more monsters, including a ritual monster. And it gains effect based on the number of ritual monsters used for its ritual summon. 1, it cannot be destroyed by battle. 2, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, also gains 1200 attack. 3, neither player can target this with card effects, and also gains an additional 1200 attack. So this could just be a really big, beefy boss monster that is hard to remove for your opponent, if that is good into that matchup. And of course, we have 1 copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker on Link Summon allows you to target a Link monster used for its Link Summon, and it gains 1000 attack for every one of that monster's Link ratings. Also, it allows you to banish a Link monster from field or grave, and non-targeting destroy one of your opponent's cards. And you cannot banish a card with the same attribute as the banished card for the rest of the turn. We've got a pretty diverse array of attributes. We have Dark, Fire, I think that's it. 1 light monster that we're probably not going to go into before we get access code out. But whatever, access code is a good OTK tool. We have 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. The important part is it allows you to use one of your opponent's monsters for its Link summon. So it can out an unaffected boss monster of your opponent. It is not affected by effects except ones that target it. On Link summon, it allows you to negate the effects of all of your opponent's cards on the field. And once per turn, you can negate a card effect that special summons from the graveyard. All of those effects are irrelevant. You just want to be using it to clear one of your opponent's boss monsters. We have 1 Elder Entity Entis fusion monster. We don't have any fusion spells. Well, it is a fairy monster with a graveyard effect, so it is a premium target to be sending off of Diviner of the Herald. When Entis is sent to grave, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Very good, very good. 2 copies of Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight, when sent to grave, allows you to add a ritual spell or ritual monster from deck to hand. So another good target to be sending off of Diviner. Anyways, that's our extra deck. All right, time to cook with some test hands. Let him cook, let him cook, let him cook. That expression is especially potent since this is a French food-themed deck. If I had a nickel for every French food-themed deck I had, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. It's weird that it happened twice. Anyways, 3, 4, 5. Drawing the Hungry Burger, not ideal. But it is whatever. It is what it is. Normal Poissonaire, search us a level 1 ritual monster or a recipe card. This could search us our counter trap, but we wouldn't have any way to use it, so we will search our board of base, since it is the combo star for the deck. Go, Recette des Poissons, tributing this off, getting our copy of Board of Base. Recette des Poissons effect still resolves. Since we summoned a Board of Base, we get to add our copy of Recette des Viandes. Excuse my French. We can chain block here. We can go Board of Base effect, chain Poissonnaire effect, put itself there. I'm not sure if I shuffled enough. I will shuffle even more. Offer cut to our opponent. Reveal the top 5 cards of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, a Conférence isn't that bad, especially because we have Viande in hand. So if we're going second and our opponent has everything in defense position, we can just switch those monsters into attack. Recette des Viandes, tributing off the... This is a tough decision, because if we leave Hungry Burger in hand, it does get us an additional tribute off of Bile-Grill, since Bile-Grill can only summon from the hand or deck. So I think I'll actually tribute out off of Ball and Yang, which on the surface seems like a bad idea. But as I explained, it could actually be a good one. Poltis draws us a card. Ooh, Diviner. Very, very good card. Unfortunate that we already normal summon this turn. So we'll go Poissonnaire, targeting. Either one doesn't really matter. Target, board of the base. I will activate Poltis' effect, tributing it's a Nouvelles ritual monster I control, plus an attack position monster on the field, in order to get a copy of Ball Minier. This special summons itself, and then attempts to switch our card that we targeted into defense position. Since we don't have a card, the effect still resolves as much as possible, and it special summons itself. Ball Minier effect goes off, allowing us to add a Nouvelles or a recipe spell from deck to hand. So we get Nouvelles Restaurant at Table, since that can add us a rituals, a recipe spell or trap. So we'll activate it, get our copy of special recipe. At Table, we actually get to shuffle back our Hungry Burger and then draw a card. It would be very funny if we redrew the Hungry Burger, but let's hope for the best. For cuts to our opponent, just to make sure it's extra shuffled, and draw a card. Ooh, Incantation Candle. Can't use it right now, but if we add another ritual spell to our hand, a very, very good card for some free material and free adds to hand. We'll set our copy of Chef's Special Recipe, and in the end phase, at table will activate, allowing us to put 2 cards, including a recipe card, onto the bottom of our deck. I think I'll put Viande and Board of Base, since both of those cards are searchable and some good pieces of our combo. And we draw a card in our end phase. All in all, a pretty good board. This is a quick effect tribute of our opponent's attack position monster, which allows us to summon out a copy of Bio-Grill, which on summon will negate the effects of all of your opponent's card effects, monsters, spells, and traps. And since it was summoned off of a Nouvelles monster, it will tribute all of your opponent's monsters. And additionally, it allows you to tribute another one of your opponent's monsters, if they even have one after you tributed all of them off, for a copy of Hungry Burger for the extra mental damage. And if you blew through your Chef's Special Recipe on, say, like a Raigeki, Lightning Storm, something like that, and it's in the graveyard, you can banish it in order to tribute all your monsters again. Tribute all of your opponent's monsters again. This deck's very annoying to play against, but it's so fun to just do a mock French accent and play all these goofy little rituals and end on a copy of Hungry Burger. Cook, let me cook one more test hand. You do have to say let me cook every time you draw your opening hand, or else it'll be an awful opening hand. This hand's all right. Talismandra, we will reveal a copy of Cyber Angel Benton, just to do a little bit of mental damage to our opponent. Special summon Talismandra. Special summon the Candle. Candle effect as a ritual spell. Get Recette des Poissons. From here, we don't want a normal summon because we have access to our Diviner in hand. So let's be a little goofy. Let's go Recette Poisson, tribute off our copy of Cyber Angel Ben 10 in order to get our Foy Glacia. Cyber Angel Ben 10 resolves, adding us a copy of Diviner of the Herald. We will normal summon our Diviner of the Herald, send a copy of Herald of the Arclight from deck to grave. That allows us to add a ritual spell or ritual monster from deck to hand. We want to tribute off the Diviner, so we probably want a ritual spell at this point. We're kind of burning through our recipes pretty fast, so I think I'll go with Viande. Set the Viande. Tribute this. Balmenier adds us a Nouvelles or a ritual monster. Nouvelles ritual monster or a recipe card. Diviner specials are a copy of Poisson. Add that off Balmenier, special in this off of Diviner. Poissonnaire effect resolves, adding us a level 1 or a recipe. I think I will add our C'était Poisson. Or wait, no, actually. Let's be smart about this. Let's be an intellectual. Let's add our board of the base. Activate our at table to get our C'était Poisson. See, I'm burning through all of this. We're drowning in card advantage. I don't know what to do with all of it. C'était Poisson, tributing off our Poissonnaire to get our board of the base. Search an additional recipe ritual spell, but we burned through all of them already. We're cooking some fast food right now. This chain link 2. Place this. This resolves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any Nouvelles card? Pultis is a good card. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if I can legally activate the Poissonnaire because I have no zones to summon to, so I'm just going to assume that I cannot. So if our opponent targets any card on the field, we can Foy Glacia tribute itself plus an attack position monster on the field to special summon a monster. If this specifically gets tributed, summon a level 2 or 3. If anything is targeted, summon a 5 or 6. Unfortunately, this is not a quick effect because we didn't summon it off of a Nouvelles monster. But all in all, this is a decent end board. I honestly probably could have done better, but I get so crazy with so much advantage from all these recipes. It's crazy. I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, all of that. I need to get my analytics back up, especially after I took a month hiatus because I was busy with life stuff. So, please and thanks. GG's.